Greetings and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Coronacation Spirits Week, Episode 5. Tonight we're going to be testing Blanton's, the one and only Blanton's Single Barrel Bourbon. This is one of the most recognized names in all of bourbon, one of the most recognized bottles in all of bourbon. And it's named after Colonel Albert Blanton, who was the head of what is now Buffalo Trace Distillery. For much of the early part of the 20th century. He ran the distillery through World War I. He kept it alive and working during Prohibition, producing medical spirits. He was around during the Great Depression, and through World War II, he kept the distillery going, producing great spirits. Blanton's, the bourbon, is the brainchild of his protege, a guy by the name of Elmer T. Lee, who worked for Blanton. Lee remembered that Blanton tended to keep private, select honey barrels, very special barrels that he thought had the best flavor. He kept these tucked away in a warehouse at certain places. He knew where the best place to find these barrels were. And Lee, recognizing this, trying to revive the bourbon industry after it was almost destroyed in the early 1970s and throughout the early 1980s, Elmer produces Blanton's bourbon. It is from those select honey barrels that Lee knew the location of. He produces the very first single barrel bourbon, and it was Blanton's. This particular one is from Warehouse H, which is where all Blanton's comes from Rick number 52. That's right in the middle of a rick house, and barrel 1,573. And it's bottled at a very easy to sip 93 proof. Today, it seems every distillery has a single barrel expression of their juice. It's all courtesy of Elmer. Elmer has a single barrel too, named after him, Elmer T. Lee. And it's incredibly difficult to get your hands on a barrel of Elmer T. Lee, more so than Blanton's. The mash bill for Blanton's is actually unknown. Buffalo Trace uses two mash bills, Mash Bill 1 and Mash Bill 2. Mash Bill 2 has, we believe, between 12 and 15% rye. So it's going to have a little bit more spice, a little more peppery spice on the end there. And this really bursts with that vanilla and caramel sweetness. It's got a little bit of honey. Check out the color. It's a little lighter than some of the ones we've had in the past few days. Amber honey color going on here. Wow, that's great. Warm, soft, full. It's got a great mouthfeel. It's not overpowering. It's got a lot of burnt sugars, caramels, creamy vanillas. It's right in that wheelhouse of those flavor profiles that a lot of people like in their bourbons. The finish is very long, very lingering. This is where that rye kicks in. Get a little bit of pepper. It's balanced, though. It's got a lot of vanilla flavors and notes there, too. I said last night that Knob Creek, that 15-year-old Knob Creek at 120 proof, was a true sipping bourbon. I'm going to say, wait a minute. Okay, we had to wait for Phil there. Well, Blanton's is, too. It's a great sipping bourbon. It's just plain good, and you want to linger with it for a while. It's a true classic bourbon flavor. Unfortunately, it's become more and more difficult to get your hands on a bottle. It should be a $50 bottle all day, but current demand has really pushed it to that $100 mark. I've even seen it for $200 sitting on the shelf. I've never paid that much for a bottle, and I will never pay that much for a bottle. But that's also why that bottle probably had dust coating sitting on the shelf too. Other people kind of feel the same. This is just a really great bourbon from one of my favorite distilleries, Buffalo Trace. Guys, I want to wish everyone a very happy, safe weekend. This is episode 5. If you want to see episode 6 and 7, shoot me a text. Let me know what you think. But until then, stay safe, peace, happy pours.